Welcome to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy, wisdom, and healing, where we explore how energy shapes your life and how you can shift it to thrive in every area physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Each week, we'll dive into practical tools, real-world examples, and quantum energy perspectives to help you stay positive, navigate challenges, and reclaim your personal power. Whether you're dealing with stress, seeking balance, or curious about the energetic world around you, this is your space for insight, growth, and transformation.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Release Your Potential Now. I'm Jane Phillips, your host. I'm a medical intuitive, psychic medium, and do paranormal energies and clearings of people and properties all over the world from my office in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Thank you for tuning in today. So we're continuing our May series for moms, and today we're focusing on a topic that many parents quietly struggle with: nighttime fears and restless sleep in sensitive children. You may have a child who's afraid to go to bed, or won't sleep alone, or insist that something's in the room. And if so, you are not alone. This episode is here to offer more reassurance, wisdom, and practical tools that you can use right away to help your child feel safe, secure, and peaceful at bedtime. This is a little bit of a repeat from last week's episode, which you might want to tune into for more tools. And I'm also going to be offering an energy clearing that you can replay, and I will have a handout for that will be below this podcast at Transformation Talk Radio, so that you can have a written script of how to clear ghost type energy from a child's room, and you don't need me to do that. So let's start and create a calm, energetically clear space where your child can sleep soundly, and you can get them out of your bed at night. After a certain age, it's probably time for them to be able to be in their own room. So nighttime is naturally a more open time energetically. The world is quieter, and the darker energies are often more prevalent. So just as an example, I like people to know that if they're outside, there are some nights in the same location, you want to just sit down and look at the stars. And then you have another night where it's the same location that felt just peaceful last night, and you think, I just better get right into the house. Something feels off. And that's because, for whatever reason, some of these energies that you can feel are darker are moving about, and you can feel it. So your child has the ability to pick these things up too, and sometimes things can be more prevalent in their room. Something I didn't mention in the last podcast last week, which I had to deal with recently, is a lot of times now that we're coming into the warmer weather for many of us, people will have their windows open, their child's window open to get some fresh air. And there may not be a screen on it. Now, I'm originally from Minnesota, so we had screens everywhere because otherwise mosquitoes were going to eat us alive. But if you have a window open, it's possible that a ghost type energy can come into your room or your child's room. And if there's a screen on it, it's a little less likely that that will happen. Somehow, people who have died and are still on the earth plane in ghost form still see barriers as though they still have a physical body, but sometimes not. And so just be aware, not to tell you to keep your children's rooms closed if it's stuffy, but just be aware that it's a possibility, not to be scared. I don't want anyone to be scared. And if you have a screen on, it's way less likely. So once the distractions of the days are gone, and that quiet allows your children to feel more because they don't have other things going on, especially if they're sensitive to emotional or spiritual energy. So sometimes what your child isn't picking up isn't their own fear. it's the residual energy left in a space that they might be sensing. It could be emotional tension from earlier arguments, lingering sadness, or stress that hasn't been cleared from the day, and spiritual energies, as I indicated, that might have come into the room or maybe were already there and haven't been cleared, that haven't fully moved on. And those are basically ghost type energies. And something I'd like to add for parents is I deal with this a lot, that ghost type or paranormal type energies are not out to harm us. They are just energetically matched to your space in some way. And so they hang there because they're comfortable. Now, if their personality when they were alive wasn't so nice, that means as a ghost energy, they're maybe not so nice either. But in general, most of these energies, pretty much none of them are demonic, and they're just energies that match that space. So what I'm telling you isn't meant to scare you. It's just how energy works. And it's actually very simple to shift. And you don't have to be a professional energy healer to make a powerful difference in your home. And I'm going to give you some a clearing tool later, which I'll do. But first, I'm going to give you some more easy tools that you can use to calm your child's space to enhance from what I talked about last week. So I did mention, I'm re-mentioning this because an easy one is to do sound to clear energy. So it breaks up stagnant energy. You can use a chime or a bell, or even gently clap in the corner of the room and say an affirmation. Only love and calmness are welcome here. Everything else must leave. You can do this with your child. But in my experience over the 20 years I've been doing energy clearing, I'm finding that sound really helps the energies move on. It breaks up stagnant energy. The other thing too is some children will sleep better with a light on, but you could turn on a soft light like a salt lamp, or simply hold your hand over the nightlight, for example, and say this light protects the room and only peaceful energy may enter. So your words matter. We're in a quantum energy world, meaning it's physics. There's lots of connections between what we say and what happens. So energy follows your intention. So if your intention is to be calm or make things calm, you can do that with just your languaging. And another way, if the child is afraid that something's going to enter through the doorway, you can create a little energy wall in the doorway and say, this is a room of love and rest and safety, and all energy must leave now. And just wait a minute and have your child watch this. And that tells your child in the space what energy is allowed to stay. Again, some of these things might be experiments. If you have something really strong in there, then there might be other things that you need to do. So you're teaching your child to be in charge and not helpless. They can be the energetic healer of their room. I mentioned last time in our other podcast that I had a Mexican friend who grew up, he's in the United States as a citizen now, but his grandmother used to tell all the grandchildren that if they saw something in the room they didn't like, that all they had to do was point at it and tell it to leave. And so he grew up with the understanding that he had control over his bedroom. So you want your child to feel empowered. So, and they will when they know they can help themselves feel safe. So try saying, this is your room. You get to decide what energy is allowed here. And then guide them through a few bedtime affirmations they can say aloud. You may be doing child prayers, and that's actually a really good idea if you ask to get down on your knees, if that's your faith, and whatever it is, and ask for protection for the night from God, Jesus, whatever your faith is. And ask for protection. Put in that space that the child to say, I am safe, I am protected, I sleep peacefully and wake up happy. And make a bedtime ritual of it. As I said, you can do a little prayer, get down on your knees, or you can have them draw some symbols if they're feeling artistic or things that they want for protection. They can put symbols of safety they can keep by their bed. And so when they feel in charge, when you're giving them some tools and letting them know that these energies that they're seeing are really not there to harm them, then that fear is going to shrink and their confidence is going to grow. So other ideas for the room of things that you can keep there that you don't have to do a ritual around is you could put a rose quartz or an amethyst near their bed. Crystals are helpful. So you can let them have a stuffed animal. Some kids have 12 of them. So whatever makes them feel safe, that's okay. Soft glowing light at night, like your night light, can help calm nerves and reinforce protection. And you can also put dream catchers or angels or sacred imagery, whatever your family resonates with, up on the walls. These don't have to be like magical. It's the intention you give them that transforms them into anchors of peace for your child. So, just a little commercial break. So if your home carries energy that's affecting your child's sleep or emotional well-being, and you'll know it because of how they're reacting, they may even tell you specifically, I offer space clearings of your home and the people in it to help restore harmony and peace. So you can visit janecphillips.com to learn more about how I shift the energy in homes all over the world and help your whole family rest easier. You'll be amazed at how supportive it feels when I'm done. And the nice thing is, after I've done energy clearing, I help you walk through the house with your child if they're sensitive, and double check this. And you will have 2 weeks after I've cleared the property. I will help you walk through the house if we need to by phone, or I will tell you how to go check things yourself. And I will make any adjustments that is necessary. Last week, I talked about Susie, who had an energy in her closet, and I worked a couple of times and wasn't getting it until Susie explained that it was a little girl. And at that point, I was able to connect with that energy and help it go on. So I'm super supportive of you if you need some extra help. So what I'd like to do now for you is I'd like to do an energy clearing process, and it's going to be included in this podcast. And this energy clearing process is the intention, and it'll work for any room. You can use it for your child's room. That's where my focus is, but it can work for yourself or any room in the house. And you are going to get a written protocol along with this podcast that you'll be able to download in the replay. So here we go. So the first thing I do is ask, and I'm using my pendulum, which is not showing up really well, but it's here. I'm using my pendulum to remove any interference that might be there that are affecting my ability to do this for all of you. I have cleared whole meeting rooms before, and it was successfully. So we just ask for all obstruction and interference to be removed. We now ask for a white light vortex above either the head of the person or the room. And we ask for Archangel Michael to come with his, and we ask for Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, and 30,000 angels. These 4 archangels deal with compassion, with healing, with protection, with wisdom, and communication. And we ask any energies that are in this room that you're clearing or on the person that you want to be more clear, that these energies cross to the light to be welcomed home with love and acceptance. Okay. And now, if there are any hidden possessions or energies, discarnate being ghost type energies for a house. A possession is a ghost type energy on a person. Any hidden ones, we ask that they be given blanket and bubble wrap. Blanket so they're comfy, bubble wrap so they can't wiggle as much. This was something given to me. And we ask for Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. And we invite these energies to cross to the light to whomever would welcome them home with love and acceptance. So this is just going to clear these energies. If you're watching this on the replay, you can pause this for a minute if you think you need a little extra time, and these energies will be releasing. I'm now going to do something called Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian prayer that I discovered releases other energies, so I don't have to do them one at a time. So this prayer is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And I'm repeating that in my head. This Hawaiian prayer assumes that anything that's going on with yourself or the room or your child, that somehow I created it or you created it, and I don't have to understand that intellectually, but it seems to be as if we're part of the universe, we're all part of the whole of God, an aspect. So therefore, we might be part of creating some of the problems we have. So don't get into your head about it. I can't. So we're asking that those be cleared. I'm now asking to remove any parts of you. This works more for older people as opposed to young kids that might be under the influence of the dark side. And turn those parts now to be under the influence of the light. And these thoughts can come from mass consciousness, watching the news, social media, friends that are giving you, scary news. So we're removing any parts of you under the influence of the dark side. And this is for people only, not for your house. And turn these parts now to be under the influence of the light. I'd like to neutralize any negative astrology. And I'd like to adjust the frequency of the people in the room and the room that's being cleared to its ideal frequency. So you can create a mini bedtime ritual however you want. We talked about prayer and we talked about going and clapping. So whatever you decide to do, you can stand in the room with your child if you have a sensitive child and just do the breathing that I've shown in other podcasts. So just put your hand on your belly and on your chest if you want, and your child can put his or her hand on her belly too, and just breathe for a minute. So just take a deep breath in and out, and it's going to calm their nervous system as well as yours. And you can say, we now clear this room of all fear, worry, or heaviness, or pick your own words around this. And only love may stay. You can pick some other words around this. And then you can ring a bell or clap softly in each corner. And I'm a big fan, by the way, of doing the corners, kind of like dust in our homes. It seems to collect in the corners and, windowsills and everything. Energetic debris can be in the corner of our rooms too. So go behind a chair or behind the nightstand. Just clap into the corners a little bit, and it'll break the energy up. And you can have a ritual of turning on a small light and saying, this light protects this room. Love and calm are welcome here. And now you can guide your child to say, depending on what age they are, you can make your own thing up. Only happy, peaceful energy is allowed in my room. You might not use the word peaceful with a really young child. With an older one, you can use that. And you want them to embody that they are safe, loved, and they will sleep soundly and wake up happy. And again, you can pick whatever words feel most soothing to your child. And you've just shifted the energy and given your child a sense of peace and control over their environment. So instead of reinforcing or ignoring some of the things that are not supportive for them, you're putting some rituals in place, or you may end up going on the internet and looking up some things too, that give them a sense that they have control over what's going on. And you're also reassuring them that these energies that may feel scary and dark to them that they're picking up can be washed away and removed with these simple tools. So that brings us to the end of today's episode and the final episode in our May series. And I'm hoping you're leaving this month feeling more supported as a mother or as a caregiver, more grounded and more empowered as both a mother and a caregiver, and an energetic guide for your family. Remember, your child's sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a gift. And when you support their energy, you're also supporting their emotional resilience and confidence. So next week, we begin a brand new series in June called The Aligned Path. Clear the noise, trust your gut, and reclaim your flow. Our first episode on June 3rd will help you lighten your load physically and energetically. And I'll share how clearing physical clutter can create clarity in your mind and spirit. And I'll walk you through my favorite 5-minute decluttering technique that helps keeps overwhelm at bay. And I also have another idea that I wanted to share around keeping overwhelm at bay. So take a deep breath, enjoy the calm you cultivated, and get ready to make space for what's next. I'll see you in June on Release Your Potential Now. Thank you.
You've been listening to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy wisdom and healing. Tune in on Transformation Talk Radio to unlock the power of energy healing and transform your life one insight at a time. Share this episode with a friend who's feeling stuck and might benefit from a little extra support on their journey. Together, we can create a ripple effect of healing and positivity, empowering individuals to live healthier, more joyful lives. Are you ready to gain control of your life and health? Then visit janecphillips.com to book a session, join a workshop, or explore how energy wisdom can help you heal and thrive.